Welcome to the Temple of Flame. On today, Faithful Acolytes, we take a look at this. I'm not entirely sure if that came through, but this is the 7-pot Primo meat sticks, the Screamin hot meat sticks. They were formerly called. I did the medium level of these earlier. This is the wild level. No ingredients of any kind on this. I actually don't even know if these are being produced anymore. This is exactly how it came to me. So it came to me in this Ziploc, and we'll briefly take a look. Six of these here. We'll briefly take a look at. We'll open one up, take a look at. It's not like it's going to be. This is going to be a very short section. Not a lot to see here. The usual stuff. Let's bite into one. And there you go. Might as well just keep on going with that. Well, so the mediums I thought had a really decent meat taste to them. That video as well as this one, when it goes live, will be in the Hot Animal Action Meats and Cheeses playlist. And I remember thinking I could be a little bit hotter for the other meat sticks. This is pretty clearly temporary packaging. So these weren't available when I got the other ones. I don't know what's available now. There were 3 levels when they were first introduced. The ingredients I would imagine are the same, just these are going to have more of the 7-pot Primo. So these definitely, we have it skewed more towards the bitter side than the meat side of things. I have had some peppered beef sticks that are, this one seems to be pork and beef, maybe chicken also. It does remind me of those a little bit. Although it's not black pepper, it's 7-pot. But they're bitter, kind of on that level. Mouth heat right now is a pretty solid one. I think these sticks are actually some of the best things except that Blazing Foods has done. These are nice. So if you want more of a meat taste, the medium ones would be the ones to get. But this is, kind of as close to what I would have in mind for a chilehead meat stick. It's probably the closest anybody's ever come. There is a nice amount of meat flavor still. I'm sure we're probably pushing past the 1 a little bit now. Not like non-unbearable. Seven Pot Primo is kind of a wild pepper to me because I think it really tastes good, but I have it in a few settings in 2024 where it was horrendous. But that could have been the other flavorings as well. So I'd say probably, so after 3 of those, I'm about 1.5. I might make it to a 2. But the discussion of 7 Pot Primos being the same thing as Reaper is just, Reapers tend to behave a very specific way with me, unless I have my tolerance keyed to that pepper specifically. No other pepper does that. None of the other Super Hots, none of the 7 Pots, not even Pepper X. Just the Mighty Mighty Reaper. So I did prefer the flavor of the Primo more than the Reaper for quite a while. I still do, but that I hadn't had the Primo in what I thought was kind of a unpleasant setting before either. And I had with the Reaper. Also, like that's a huge drawback for me anyway with Reapers. You know, where I'd have to keep my tolerance up specific for that pepper instead of generally. All right, we're going to cap it at 5. Or will we? I don't know. Let's see. Do we have a... We don't. Yeah, these are definitely notably hotter than the medium. I think we're getting into vicinity now of a 2. Which is pretty impressive for snacks. They almost never get this hot. This isn't a challenge product. It's hot, but it's not as aggressively punishing as those products tend to be. Yeah, I mean, we're approaching it too. Getting a lot right now of that super hot bitterness taste in my mouth. I don't love that flavor, which is a bit unfortunate. Well, okay, so I don't know if these are still around anymore. The Blazing Foods, they call this a 7 Pot Primo snack stick. It was a Screamin' meat stick. So I don't know if they changed, and I don't really know what's going on. I looked on the website prior to filming this to see if the ingredients had changed, and I couldn't find it on the website at all. Not to order, not even to look at. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with these. This might be the last one in existence. I don't know. Very, very fast taper though. Like it's dying off very, very quickly. It definitely is not getting hotter as I'm sitting here yapping at you guys. Okay, well, so I'm gonna say I wouldn't say it quite got to a 2. I would say it approached a 2 as far as heat. Flavor is honestly inconsistent. Some of those bites were as good, if not better, than the medium Screamin' Hot meat Screamin' Hot meat sticks. I'm getting the snack stick and meat stick just kind of jumbled in my noodle here. So some of the bites were the equal in terms of flavor. Some of them, especially with the last one I had, and a bit of the first one I had, just super, super bitter and honestly a touch unpleasant. I didn't love that. So a little bit streaky in terms of the mixture, I'm assuming, but I mean, I think the way to have these for maximum enjoyment would just be one after another. You know, one medium, then one of the wild, then one of the medium, then one of the wild, and so on. That way you're getting a nice sort of torchy heat level, but you're also getting the flavor of these. And sometimes the flavor is quite nice. It's your generic sort of meat stick flavor. So we're not reinventing the wheel or anything here, but it is like it's done quite capably. The texture is very nice in both of them. This, like I said, I think as far as the chili head type meat snack, like a meat stick or snack stick, whatever you want to call it, I think this one from Blazing Foods is probably the best anybody has done, and I've done quite a few of them at this point. There are some new ones that I have not got to yet that I have recently seen, and you know that might change in the future if and when I get those. But for now, yeah, it just it might be almost a bit too niche. You know, unless you get in gas stations everywhere, and they're probably not going to. Well, they might, like Jack Link's has a wild heat, which I've done, which is not particularly hot. This is definitely one of the hotter meat sticks, snack sticks out there. This wild heat level. I would not say it's nowhere near challenged, but it very punchy compared to whatever else is out there. So yeah, just really a quite nice job all the way around. If these are gone, I hope they come back, because I think they've got it's a pretty solid product here, and we'll just leave it right there. So that was the Blazing Foods Screamin' Hot meat sticks and or 7-pot Primo snack sticks, whatever you want to call it, wild heat level for either one. Now go forward in peace to serve the flame.